I used to feel a relief when I ain't had no work.
Yeah.
I just always thought
You could go to sleep.
yeah, like yo, yeah, I just feel a relief. Like I wasn't worried about the cops coming. Yeah. I just was like, you know what I'm saying? When you ain't got that, you just get like a sense of relief.
You got a relief.
Remember nobody getting pulled over. I just thought it was just me, but yeah, like that relief of not having whatever it might be. Sometimes you be happy to hear it ain't nothing around right now.
Cause you could be relieved, bro. It's like you can't sleep at night.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like everything is tense. Everything is like you feel it in your back, and it's like, and then everybody especially when you trying to look out for everybody, cause you feel bad if you ain't got nothing for nobody else. It's not even about you.
Yeah.
Like that's what it turned into. It's like your whole life is about somebody else, even if they doing you dirty. You know?
And during that time, was you the same? Was you, you know, we speaking candidly, you know.
Yeah.
Another thing is, I would never want to do nothing at night. Like I would never want to like. Was you the same way? Like, and I was never serving nobody or trying to.
I ain't care.
At night too.
Yeah. I was a kid though.
Yeah.
So I don't know how old you were.
In 06, I was a kid. I was what? I was 20. I was 44. I was 23.
Oh yeah, I'm older than you. Dang.
Yeah, but I would never want to. At night, I was like, yo, like because at nighttime, I was always heard what's my getting murked, rocked, the law, like so. Because I always felt like wasn't that many cars on the road at night, so you get pulled over. And around that time, they had the highway cops with no lights on the top, and they was pulling anything that had 10 on it. They were pulling it over.
Yeah, I was on the tip, man. I ain't really cared. I'm gonna keep it real, and I ain't doing no crazy stuff, but I really feel like I ain't have no value to my life wasn't like I didn't value my life to the point where like I don't want to go to jail, I don't want to get killed. You feel what I'm saying? I was more so on the tip like it is with Birdman. Daddy, I'm flying in any weather. I'm on rap time. I'm just out here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It wasn't really the conscience wasn't there as far as life.
Now let's get to it. So you was in the county for a minute. Let's go to that.
Yeah.
When did you know the feds was coming to get you?
All right, from the rip, kinda, because that night we knew that they was at the space. However, they took about 7 to 8 months. 7 months to build the case, but they started putting out indictments grand jury drinks. So my dad might call me, the feds called me, I gotta go down there. Or my young boy, they go to my young boy's school. He was going to mansion. The feds came and got such and such out of school. Or they did this. So they running around trying to, get information. People might say, they contacted such and such, or the feds went to such and such. But in the back of my mind, we think we gonna beat the case in the state because our discovery was so weak. Our discovery in the state was totally different than our indictment in the feds. Even how they got in the house, everything just totally switched. So I remember going to preliminary hearing in the county, and they was this close to throwing it out in the county. So it just like we just knew that the feds wasn't gonna have enough evidence to pick it up. And then I remember the day I got my indictment. Me and my cellie, we was on D23. We break it down to Chi-Chi in the cell, and they slid the mail underneath the door. You've been indicted. I'm like, dang, that's how I got my indictment.
Hit you like.
Yeah, I remember 1, 2, or 2. Me and my Cody, we was cellies in the county, and he had went to court for something like another case or whatever. And they had came and pulled me out. It wasn't the feds, it was the marshals pulled me out for a DNA. DNA, right? Yeah. DNA, a swab.
Cotton swab.
A cotton swab. They pulled me downstairs. And I'm thinking it's the lawyer because they come as a legal visit. So I'm like, damn, a lawyer here, I go down. It's the marshals. They pulled me down for a cotton swab. But they calling for him too. But they find out we cellies. And that day they found out we were cellies, he was shipped to pick the next day. So we could never be cellies again. You feel me? And that's how I knew, like, all right, they really...
They on us.
Yeah, they on us. And then...
Can you refuse that DNA swab?
Ooh. It's a warrant. It come with a warrant.
Oh, okay.
But I think you can refuse it, though. But it looks bad against you, though.
No. I tried to talk crazy, right? When they came down, I'm like, I ain't, I'm on my joint. I'm in the F. Like, everything's a game. You feel me? I'm like, I ain't doing that. Ooh, they got a warrant. We got a warrant. I ain't doing it. But boy, I promise you. He said, we could do this the easy way or the hard way. I'm like, man, just give me the swab. I'm faking in this joint. Just give me the swab. Yeah. Give them the swab because they got a warrant for it. So they could get it however they want. You know what I mean? They got a federal warrant for your swab. And then they wind up, because it was a shooting that occurred or whatever, and it was a hat found on the scene. They wound up taking that swab. They matched it to the DNA that was in that hat, but that hat had matched like over 100 different DNA strains or something. So they couldn't use it in trial. Because I guess when you go to it's a hat. So ain't no telling how many people
tried it on before they bought it. So folks saw it. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's only the DNA came out like that, but it wasn't. But they came and got it though.
So now, the day they came and picked you up.
Yeah.
How was that?
I remember like yesterday. It was August 1st, 2007. They picked me up. I knew they was coming or whatever. It was the CO tell you like, yeah, they're gonna come get you in the morning or whatever. I stayed up. They wound up coming and get me, and it was the excursion. Remember the big joints?
Yeah.
Came and got me in the excursion, and they came and got me and my Cody. My Cody was at Pick. They gripped me. They came around there and got home. And I remember riding and saying my homie was actually on the expressway. I was just looking at my homie as we on in the excursion, tinted up. And I remember looking at my homie who I used to be out there with, riding up 95. And I'm just looking like, damn, he don't even know.
I'm in the back of this joint.
I'm in this joint, like right next to him. Yeah, they know I'm booked, but they don't know I'm in this excursion next to them because it's tinted up. And I remember just riding by, I'm like, dang, look at my man. And we go to FDC. You go through all that, the intake or whatever. And I remember this right around the time when all that situation happened, when they got caught, like on the microphones in the cell at FDC. They remember when me and my Cody came, they said they ain't had no rooms for us. And they wound up throwing us in the hole at FDC. And the showers didn't work. And we just kept saying, like, we know the joint in here or whatever. The
mic.
We know the mic was in there. And my reality moment was, remember the Fort Dick 6?
Fort Dick 6, what is that?
The Bulls, the Arabs, so they was saying was doing terrorism.
I don't really remember that.
They was shooting the guns. They had them on like shooting AKs and all that.
I don't remember that.
It's like it's in 06, so it's 5 years after the bombing or whatever. But they had booked them. They called the Fort Dick 6. They was some Arabs. They had guns or whatever, and they was shooting. They had them for like a terrorist case. And we was in the hole, with them, going to the yard with them. I'm like, dang, this joint crazy. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then they took me down. I went to 5 North. And, I learned how to be a Fed. I learned how to be in the Feds.
He always talk about that walk when you first get to FDC, that under the tunnel, under the ground joint.
Yeah.
How was that for you seeing that? Like,
yeah, it was, I remember the first one, but I kind of was with my Cody. So it kind of was taking the sting off a lot of that. Like, wasn't doing
y'all just going through the motion to get y'all talking.
Yeah, we talking, we ain't see each other in months.
Yeah.
We talking, we just like going through the motion, like, damn, looking, we in the Feds, we expected to be there. But I would say like the moment that I knew I was in the Feds is, when you go see the counselor, when you first come in the Feds at FDC, the counselor's joints upstairs.
Upstairs, on the top tier.
Yeah, and you go see the counselor and he asks you, do you got any separations? Or is you testifying on anybody? I'm like, what? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, coming from the county to there, you like, ain't no such thing as testifying. You know what I mean?
Let's back up. They usually ask you that when you getting processed in. SIS come see you.
Yeah, SIS.
And before you even get to your unit, they'll come see you and be like, well, listen, have you cooperated on anything? Yeah. And they do that every time you come back from court, too.
They do it every time you come back from court.
Every time you come back from court, they'll call you in there and be like, have you cooperated today?
Yeah. Do you got any side you want to get separated from?
Yeah, I forgot all about that, yeah.
And I remember coming out the joint, like, when my face screwed up. And old head Bilal, what's his name? Old head Bilal, whatever. He like, what's your face all screwed up for? I'm like, man, boy, asking me if I'm telling. I'm still a kid. You feel what I'm saying? So I still got that badge to join on me. Like, he like, let me show you something. He walked me to the tier. He's like, how many people you think down there? I'm like, probably what, 100, 150 people? He said, I'm gonna say 150. He said, if it's 150 people down there, 130 of them cooperating with the Feds. Didn't believe me.
Dang.
Lo and behold, if it was 150 people down there, 130 of them was cooperating with the Feds. Promise you. That's the Feds.
Wow. And you sit next to people that's hot. Like, he
the thoroughest ones on the compound. They the thoroughest ones.
And they snitching.
Snitching.
Stay free, man. For those who out there breaking law, Out of 150 people, 130 people telling?
130. I promise you. He telling, at the moment you can't fan him. You like, ain't no way. But then lo and behold, as time go on, you like, dang.
How was you dealing with people that you knew? Did you find out people that was thorough that told? How did you deal with that?
After a while, like with me, it was like I was going to trial, so I was around trial boys, right?
Okay.
But even when you go into trial, it's like the ones that's the loudest on the block, the ones who might got bread or whatever the case may be, they, whatever it is the thoroughest ones on the block, right? Because you're not a part of that space.
Mm-hmm.
With me, I just hung around people who was helping me with my situation. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not a person that be like, oh yeah, whoa. I just stayed to myself. But then I remember when I got sentenced, and it was like there was like a running joke with them. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then you had dudes who was probably getting some bread or whatever the case may be, and they was telling, and nobody really cared. But to me, I was just chilling, bro. I wasn't like who high, who not. I just stayed with people who helped me with my case. You know what I'm saying?
Anything interesting about FDC that people probably don't know about? Like, because we hear about the phone on the block that people call, used to tell. Was something else that was interesting that you saw that was like, wow?
I seen people calling home because the phone's recorded. I seen people calling home on recorded phones, asking people what they doing, their own homies. You feel what I'm saying? Yo, what happened with such and such? And you on the street, your old head calling you. Yeah, we did that. Ooh. Don't even know that they might be most likely getting lined up on the phone.
I'm talking about at an alarming rate is going on.
Yeah.
If it was like that, then it's 10,000 times worse than that.
Yeah.
Wow. People was calling home, like talk to their homies and getting them brought in there, and they sitting there wondering why they in here. How y'all know? And then it's like,
yeah, you on the joint,
and they got you recorded saying it.
They got you recorded. Then you got people. I know you probably hit that to hop on people's cases, John. You never hear about that? People hop on your case.
Cause they be your seller. You start talking to him, and they say that he's saying that you told him.
Yeah, you told him. You got people that read your paperwork, make your paperwork, tell. I mean, that John is like, it's a rough situation. Especially if, like, I remember, like none of my co-defendants told. We all went to trial. We all stood on what we were standing on at that time. But it's hard to see people not tell in that job.
Yeah. Now, because we spoke about your trial, getting sentenced and all that, right? What was the first jail you went to, like, that was upstate, like, feds?
Yeah, I went to FCI Raybrook.
That's where he went to, too.
Yeah. I didn't want to go to that joint. 9 hours away.
Everybody, you said, it's only 6 hours.
No, it's not. You can't.
That joint 9
listen, that's why I told you, bro.
Listen,
I might got it for 6.
Yeah, got it for 6.
They got shortcuts and all that on GPS.
Bro, they got all types of bro, that joint was 9.
Because listen, now I think about one time I came see you.
Thank you, Kid Rock. I needed you up here.
You might be right. I don't know, because I remember Sugar drove, Bucks drove, and I drove.
And that's only 6 hours, which I drove 2 hours apiece?
I think, but I don't know. I forget. But
y'all drove 3 hours apiece.
That's 9.5.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember, but I know we all took turns driving to get up there.
Yeah, that's a 9.5 ball.
Yeah, so you get the FCI Raybrook. That's near, almost in Canada.
Canada, yeah.
And that was, what was that experience like for you? Like getting up there, seeing that, like, because I'm assuming that's a lot different than.
And Kim Rock, I want you to take it all the way back, like. Yeah. Like, it ain't like the state you going in, you likely to see a couple homies because you in, the county. You got all, West Philly, North Philly. You in a whole nother, I want to hear from you. How was that for you to get off that, go through R&D and come out with your bedroll onto the compound?
Let's talk about pulling up to it first. Like, pull up to the actual
I'm hit you
compound.
Before that, though. It's Lewisburg before that. And Lewisburg is the first stop.
The transit.
And Lewisburg is like what you see on Gotti.
Yeah,
you feel what I'm saying? Like this Lewisburg Penitentiary,
like a historic.
prison, it's like federal prison. That's
it's one of the oldest prisons in the country,
and it's all transit. You come there.
No, they had a unit. It's a prison. They just had a transit unit.
Oh wow,
like Atlanta do.
Yeah, you stop there first, and I'm like, I'm in Lewisburg. You feel me? And then you stay there for like a week or something like that, and then you go to Raybrook. But when I went to Raybrook, like. You gotta remember, I'm still like 130 pounds. I'm I'm a kid. I'm like 25, 130 pounds. I go up there. I remember old boy Puff, you know Puff from there, y'all.
George?
Yeah, George. So he was up there with you. He was on the bus with me when he got back. Me and him was on the bus together on our way up there, so he was already up there.
Sad to say, he back in the feds now and again too.
Oh man.
Never federal beef.
Wow. Wow, and that was so long ago.
Yeah, that was over 25 years ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We was on the bus together, riding up there, so he telling me little things or whatever. But, you know, I never been upstate either. Like, I never been upstate. So when I get there or whatever, the blessing for me is the first thing I do, they move me in the cell with these Mexicans. So when I go in with the Mexicans, Marche was on the block or whatever. Marche, you know, they waiting for Philly to come. You know what I mean? Anybody from Philly, they waiting to see who coming from Philly. They want to know if you hot or not, whatever the case may be. So when I went in there with the Jones, Marche and them come in there. He like, you from Philly? I'm like, yeah. He like, what's up with your situation? I'm like, no, I'm good. I went to trial, everything. Like, always already tell me what to say when I got there. So he like, all right, then we go to the yard. When you go to the yard, it's like, you know, Raybrook yard, it got to be, 200-300 people out there on the yard. And I went up there in like April, May or something like that.
So it's nice. It's nice outside.
It's nice, yeah. So everybody out there, everybody walking. And I just was like, you know, taking it all in. And then I wound up moving out of the cell with the Mexicans maybe like 2-3 days.
How many was in the cell?
6. I was in the 6-man.
Yeah.
I was in the 6-man, and I was like the only black in that joint. So they getting you out of there. You're like, same thing if a Mexican coming there with 5 blacks.
Yeah.
They gonna get you out of there. Or whatever the case may be. And I moved in that joint with Marche. Marche introduced me with Leak. And then I used to be with Leak and Marche every single day. And pretty much Marche, Leak, Salone from Southwest, Sput that got killed, Tyreek, and a few others, man. They raised me in that joint. I got raised from a kid to a young man in Raybrook.
Wow.
Period. I didn't know how to do a pull-up or a dip.
Until you got there.
Until I got there.
Let me say something real fast. A shout out to Tyrell Barnes for the donation. Also, King Raleigh Lawn Care 77066 for the becoming a member, and J Homie 92 for the donation. Appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all so much. Now.